Alright guys, welcome back. CFP here, and this is Survival Living. So today is a video on portable solar power stations. Alright, this is Opus brand. We've been working with them for quite a while now, and they've given me all kind of different products to test out. And we do with all of our solar generators, guys. We put them through the test. We run them through power tools, mini fridge, air conditions, coffee pots, whatever it is that you planning on using it for. We're trying to test it out. And again, with all power stations, guys, you need to know how much power you're going to be using, and then you pick the appropriate power station. So like I said, we've done other reviews, and there should be a pop-up and also in the description of our solar generator reviews. We've done the smaller units and what they have hooked us up with. This sucker right here. This is an 1800 watt 4000 watt peak Opus solar generator. That's right, and we're going to be testing this sucker out. As you can see, there is a difference in sizes compared to the other two models that we've tested out. This one right here, 1800 watts. This is an 1100 watts. This is a 600 watt. And we've done all these tests. So today, we're going to put this big sucker through the test and see what else she can do. So, of course, it comes packaged like usual on the other solar generators. Real nice box, foam packing and everything else, guys. We always do unboxing and stuff. I want to show you what everything is. It came with its own power supply and stuff. That's what will come with this unit. We'll go ahead and quickly go over that. We have a warranty card, manual. It goes over your times and stuff on charging and different charging options. We will hit on that. We got a DC plug for a car adapter, AC plug, and we have our AC brick for charging. Now, this thing here, you can charge many different ways as far as what you want to power this thing up with and charging your batteries. What is different about this unit compared to the other units, besides its size, is you have two inputs for your charging station, which you can actually charge faster because this thing has a larger battery bank. Well, just how big is the battery bank? According to the manual, it is 1488 watt hours. That is pretty good. And now we're going to go into the milliamp hours of 465,000 milliamp hours. And of course, the battery type is the LiFePO 4. So we have all kinds of different ways of charging this thing up, guys. This very good instruction manual, by the way, goes over how many times you can charge up something, how many hours, and things like that. So we're going to scroll through here. I do want to go ahead and point out something. With this system, because it has a dual input, you can actually hook up two 100 panel sets. Two 100 watt panel sets like I've got down here. This is the Opus 100 watt solar collapsible portable panel in one outlet, and you can also plug it into the other outlet. You can have 400 watts of power compared to other units to recharge. Now, one of the other things I noticed when I went to their website to look more into this when I received it is with the input charges, guys, they actually showing on the website you can actually plug in your AC brick in one of these outlets, and you can also plug in solar into the other one and get a faster charge that way. They also have the option of running two AC bricks in the system and charge this battery up much faster inside this charger. So really cool. We're going to go ahead and get into this system. And here is the two inputs that I spoke on earlier right here. This is your power supply going in to charge up your batteries. That is your power button. Here is your 110, 120 volt outlets. This is rated at 1800 watts. You have your 12 volt DC adapters here. You have your barrel plug-ins, also for running any type of appliance that uses DC power. And then you have your USB ports, and this one here is C chargers on this one, and you have your USB ports there. So you got a 60 watt, 60 watt, and QC 3.0 on these. So also with all the Opus that I've been dealing with, they come So on the back side of all these Opus that we have ran, all their portable solar generators, they have this nice little light strip bar here. It has 3 different settings. You have a lower, I know it's flashing on the camera, that's just because the light's outside. This is actually a steady beam, it's just showing up on the camera weird. You got your high beam, and watch out guys, here comes the strobe. And then you got your emergency SOS. So, enough yah-yah. Let's go ahead and run this thing through some tests. We have our circular saw, a skill saw. We have a DeWalt grinder. We have a jigsaw. We also have an air conditioning unit hooked up on our trailer. We'll be running that, and also a coffee machine, a coffee pot, and we'll be, hey, why not the mini fridge test? We got a mini fridge installed on our trailer now. This is stuff that we actually have to have running, all right? This is what we have to have running here at the house. I have to be able to repair things, need power tools. I need to be able to cool down our living quarters, air condition, fans. I need to be able to keep our food cold with our mini fridge, and I got to have my coffee. So of course, with our 100-watt solar panel from Opus, I've shown this before. It comes with its own barrel plug and everything in. You just plug it into your system, and I don't know if this is actually going to show up. The LED screens using cameras, it just acts weird in the daylight. When we go inside, you'll be able to see this screen a lot clearer. It won't be flashing or rolling or anything like that. It's just because we're outdoors. The outside sunlight, like this is going to be an inside sunlight, right? It will mess with the camera a lot. But we'll take it inside and you'll be able to see everything. I'll be able to show you all the settings and things like that. Now, of course, one of the biggest tests that I throw at it is the circular saw. This is just an old cheap saw. It uses a lot of power, and this is what I always throw our solar generator test against, because they use a lot of power. Now we got some plywood here, just some scrap wood, because lumber's getting ridiculously priced, so I'm not going to cut up any good boards. But let's go ahead and make sure our unit is turned on. We will go ahead and plug her in, and we'll turn our AC on. Make sure that it's turned on. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our circular saw up and running here. So yeah, she'll run the circular saw. According to our readout, it'll run it for 6 hours. It's pretty good. It has a digital readout that lets you know how much power you're using, and it gives you an estimate on what hours you'll be able to get out of a certain tool. Okay, so it says here that we'll get 6 hours on this unit. Now, next up is the grinder. This is the DeWalt grinder. I know the cord's not the same. It's because I actually messed up the cord and I had to wire in a new one. So let's go ahead and plug her in. So yeah, grinder works just fine. Let's see what our readout is. It's still saying 6 hours of battery life is what we have currently running these type of tools. Would have 6 hours of use on this system. So that's actually really, really good. Now, let's get the jigsaw. So we have our jigsaw here. Shown this many times, sometimes it chokes down solar generators. So far I've not had an issue with the Opus solar generators as long as I'm using them appropriately. Obviously, you don't want to be using a 600-watt system on power tools. It just kind of strains the system. But this is an 1800-watt system, so it should be able to pull it. And it does. No issues at all. I don't hear the inverter or anything kicking on, the fan or anything in the power station, so it is actually able to pull it without even trying to cool itself down. So what we need to do is move our testing. You know what, I want to make sure this thing can run our air conditioning unit. I've shown other solar generators to be able to power it up. This is a big unit. I don't see any problems with it, so we'll go test that out. All right, now, so we have our solar generator here. Again, guys, this is the 1800-watt solar generator by Opus. We have our window unit air conditioner. This is actually what we use during the summertime to stay cool down here in Florida, which is very important. So, I get my cord here for our air condition. And now, let's go ahead and plug her in. Make sure our power is turned on. Make sure our AC is on. All right, she is running. As of right now, our display is saying 84 hours. I know the display comes up all wonky and stuff. Now I dropped down to 14 hours, 7 hours. The system is running its compressor and everything. We're going to let it run. We're going to see what it gives us an estimate of on runtime with this air condition. All right, it dropped down to 5 hours of runtime, 4 hours. Still sitting at 99% battery, but it's allowing everything to pull in and let us know how long we can run this air condition on high, and it is nice and cool. 3 hours. And we're going to let it run and see what happens. Okay, so currently it's still holding at 3 hours of runtime. It says that we're using 353 watts of power is what it's saying that this air conditioning unit is running now. It gives us 3 hours of air condition time through one of these window units. Bring the camera in here a little closer for you guys. Can actually see this run time. The power is now up to 360 output powers. 361 watts is what we are currently using. This is an 1800 watt system, a 4000 watt peak system, and we've got air conditioning. It's still holding at 3 hours. We have 3 hours with just this one power station to run this air condition in the heat of summer when we have power outages here in Florida. And believe you me, we have power outages all the time between hurricanes and just our grid alone down here in Florida. As soon as the storm comes up, everybody loses power. So that's freaking nice. 3 hours of air condition right here. Okay, so the big test here is, will it run my coffee pot? That's a good question. I like my coffee. So we got our cord here. Slide this back. We are going to plug it into our solar generator. Make sure our AC is on correct. And now let's turn it on. Don't worry guys, I will fast forward the frame, but this way you can still see the digital readouts and everything. Okay, so I am going to stop this right here. We're going to let it run, but I'm at 6 minutes on my coffee, and I'm an impatient person, and I like my coffee super strong when I first drink it. So I'm going to go ahead and pour myself my first cup at the 6-minute mark. Put that back in. We are currently using 653 watts of power is what we're using at. It says that we have 2 hours to run this coffee pot. So we could run this coffee pot back to back for 2 hours. But the first 5 minutes on my coffee, I like it strong, so I'll make it first cup. Left 652 watts is what we used, and our coffee, since I already took a cup out of it, is completed. Nice having coffee. Okay, so what we have here, we have our mini fridge. This is actually what we use here in our 6x12 trailer. It stores all of our food and everything else. Now I'm gonna go to open up the door. There is no light on because I just unplugged everything. I got the plug right here. So what I want to do is make sure I show you guys this thing actually being plugged in. Now another thing, I have not charged up this battery bank at all, the portable power station. I left it just like it is. So everything, all the testing we're doing right now is straight off of one charge. All right, so we've got the refrigerator plugged in. Let me move around here. Sorry, everything bounces around. This is a trailer. So we're gonna let this run, and we're gonna see. It's at 93% battery right now because we've been running all kind of other tests. I want to see what type of hours we're going to get, how much wattage and stuff we're going to be using. As of right now, it says that we're using 51 watts of power for this mini fridge. Mini fridge has a freezer. I've shown this particular fridge. We've made ice before. This is actually where we freeze all of our food and stuff like that. Because before we had just a igloo cooler that plugs in and it drops down ambient temperature like 40 degrees. That's what we were using, but we were losing food at time because it only drops the temperature down 40 degrees. This, on the other hand, is an actual refrigerator. It uses a compressor. It doesn't use the RV ammonia and stuff like that for coolant. This actually has a compressor. So let's see how everything's stabilizing right now. According to our readout, we have 22 hours to run this mini fridge, and we're using 51 watts of power. That is freaking amazing. Now I wish that I had a display to see what type of amp rating we're using. I have shown that on other systems. This refrigerator, when it's stable, runs about 2 to 3 amps an hour is what we're running this off of. So that's not bad at all. It's showing our wattage drop down to 49 on our watts. Still at 22 hours for our mini fridge. 23 hours. So we're getting close to a full day of running this mini fridge on one charge of the Opus 1800 watt solar generator. That is freaking awesome. And plus, mini fridges also hold your coolness pretty well for several hours after they've been unplugged. So when you're actually recharging your systems and things like that, you can just leave your refrigerator shut and it'll keep it cool. Now 24 hours is a lot, especially if you have insulin and other type of medication that's got to remain cool. Now this particular mini fridge right here, we're using 47 watts of power, 93% battery bank, 23 hours of runtime. That's freaking amazing. All right, so we got one of these electric weed eaters. I know, power's out, dude. Why are you worried about your lawn? Well, if you got an aggressive AOH management team, you know what I'm saying. So what we have is actually HOA, AOH. I'm dyslexic. Homeowners Associate. You know what I'm talking about. You know those guys. So electric weed eater. Will she run? Yes, you will. Let's go see what else we got. Well, this is definitely one of my favorites. Limb trimmers. They do use power. This is an electric one, so of course it uses power. Could you need this? Yeah. You had an electric chainsaw too. But I don't have an electric chainsaw. I got one of these. Oh, I like it. So, all in all, the 1800 watt Opus, pretty great. Able to run coffee, able to run power tools, able to run an air conditioner. That's pretty impressive. That air conditioning coffee pot is definitely a big seller in my book. Now guys, we are affiliated with Opus, and there should be a nice little pop-up there of a promo code. If you decide to go and buy one of these, you know, you actually help us out. We get a commission on everything. I like working with Opus with their power stations, their solar panels and stuff, because I've been able to throw everything at it and they test in the positive and everything. I've never had anything bad to say about their units. Again, you want to amp out whatever it is that you're planning on running. Okay, let's take medical equipment for one, CPAP machines, stuff like that. Yeah, Opus can run those all day long. They have been tested by me. I've never had any issues with them, and that's why I like them. So guys, what we're going to be doing, I got to clean up everything and get this video put together to Opus. I definitely do appreciate you remembering us and hooking us up with your new power station, this big unit, this 1800 watt, 4000 peak watts. That is impressive. I've had no issue. It did never shut off on me. Again, the digital display has an automatic timer. It shuts off so you don't burn up extra battery juice while you're running something. The unit still runs. So guys, this thing has different settings where you can run DC appliance. If you have you know, DC heaters, things like that, DC fans, it's got the plugins for it. It's got, you can charge up your cell phones, all that stuff, your tablets, cameras, anything that has a USB port and stuff, it can charge it up. I threw some heavy draw equipment at it and we had no issues. That's a big sell in my book. All right guys, till next time, catch you later.